Well, here we are again. Good morning to all of you today. This is a great opportunity for us to come together once again. You know how it is. It's Professor Dr. Mike Freeland. I'm right here once again to talk to you about some of the things that seem to matter the most. And that is your Monday Mental Real Estate. This is a great chance and another great opportunity for us to sit in the seat and talk about some of the things that seem to matter the most. Isn't it something how life has just been going on and treating us? You know, it's life, how life is just lifing right now. People are going through things all over the world, Lord. And you know what? I realize I'm no different. Everybody gets an opportunity to have their fair share in this life. And we have no excuse other than to accept what is happening right now and what we're going through, because it's something else to understand more about what we're doing every single day. Because you know what? It's about that perspective, isn't it? Every single day we get a chance to talk about the things that matter the most. But before I even get into that, let me ask you, how was your weekend? Did you spend time with somebody that loves you? Did you spend time with somebody that you loved and somebody that loved you back? Did you get an opportunity to learn and grow from people that just feed into your life? Did you get a chance to just learn something different? Because I hope so. I hope so, because this is Monday Mental Real Estate, where we talk about that perspective of thought, understanding the positive and negative contributors to your mindset. And what does that mean for you? Absolutely everything. And today is no excuse. Today is no other chance than to just get this thing that we call Monday Mental Real Estate, because it matters so much. And I want to come in and just say a few things before I get into this life application, because it's very important that we understand daily, not just occasionally, not just every Monday morning, that we understand daily what your mental real estate means to you, because it's doing so much. It's not so much that I'm doing around the world. It's about what it's doing for you. Forget about the fact that it's doing so much around the world. It's important. It matters. But right now, every time I go there, it's talking about you as an individual. So this is why it matters. So let me get right into this life application, because I can remember the days of growing up and some of the best times in my life I'll never forget. And this is why we have this thing called the life application. Spending time with somebody that I knew mattered and meant so much to me. Knowing that this was my uncle, y'all. I'm gonna give you his name, but I can't tell you what his name is, but I gotta give it to you because this is what I call him. This is my guy. This is one of those uncles that I'm telling you, everybody in the family wishes they had an uncle like this. And maybe you do. This guy was my Uncle D. And I'm just going to tell you, my Uncle D is phenomenal. Now, a lot of times we all live with heroes. We live with modern day heroes. But I'm getting ready to tell you, my Uncle D is my hero. Now, I'm going to explain to you in just a minute what I mean by he is my personal hero. Why I love my Uncle D so much. Because, listen, he is not only the baby boy, but he is the baby of the entire family. Now, who would have ever known that my Uncle D would be somebody that is so profound, but yet still so quiet, yet so timid, but so tough. Now, why am I telling you so tough? Because I can remember the days of growing up around my uncle, and he would come home. He was in the army, y'all. And when he came home from the military, he would always come over to grandma's house. And my grandma knew my Uncle D loved these egg rolls, so she would always hook him up with the egg rolls, and she would make so many of them. We would get mad because he would never want to share with us. All the nieces and nephews would sit around and look, and he would come home from the military, and he would say, "Now, these are mine. Don't touch them." Now, let me tell y'all, I'm talking about those tins. You remember those big tins? We use them every year. We're getting ready to use them for Thanksgiving. My grandmother would fill them up about 3 layers deep of egg rolls, and he would not share them. Now, here's the thing. It's not what made him my uncle. The fact is, he was always the bully of the family. My uncle loved to fight everybody. He didn't care who you was. Now, the girls he left alone. But the boys, oh my God, did he roughhouse us. I mean, he would beat us up. And listen, it would be so bad you could hear my grandmother hollering from the kitchen, "D, leave them boys alone. Leave them boys alone," because he would wrestle us down. I mean, he taught us how to be tough. He taught us at a young age. But let me tell you, and then my Uncle D would spend time with the family, and then he'd have to leave and go back out on the military leave. He'd get sent back out. And you know what? And then I realized that over time that my Uncle D was a part of the Gulf War. Now, my Uncle D went to the Gulf War, and you guys how I remember that was probably one of the fastest wars in my time. It was the only war, but one of the fastest wars they said was ever fought. You know, went to the Gulf, they did what they had to do, and they came back. But when my uncle came back, he was my guy. I loved him. And I knew that when he came home, he was trying to be here to stay. He wasn't trying to go anywhere else. And he got him a job. He worked hard. He got a family. He took care of his family. He was a hard worker, hard man, hard provider. He did everything he could do to make sure his family was secure. But what I realized is that over time, life begins to happen. And what we didn't realize is that my uncle was going through something, but he never really told anybody. He had developed the Agent Orange. Now, if you know anybody who's ever been in the military and has dealt with Agent Orange, you know how it affects your nervous system. Now, what we had to do, now I was watching my hero who really inspired me, who helped me and motivated me understand more things about this, is that he was breaking down in front of us, but he wouldn't say nothing. He was going through so many things within his body, but he wouldn't say nothing. And then we noticed one day that he's not quite walking the same. He's not quite getting around the same. And he didn't say nothing. And the thing is, he had to take the help because he needed the help. But the only way he was going to get the help is he had to say something. And when he said something to someone in his family, his wife at the time or his children said, you know what, Daddy, we got to get you to the hospital. And as they took him to the hospital, they realized that, listen, you need help. And as he got the help, listen, my uncle struggled to walk. His legs were real shaky underneath him. But he would never let nobody help him. We go and say, hey, Uncle, you need? He said, nope. And he'd go, his kids would go, he'd say, hey, Daddy, let me help you. He'd say, nope. Leave me alone. Now listen, he said leave me alone to the extent that he was willing to do something physical to you if you touched him. He did not want your help. And I sit back and I watched it. I said, I don't understand this about this man because he needs the help. Now, we love and adore him so much that we're willing to sacrifice to help him, but he was somebody who did not receive or want the help. And I said, wow. I think about this. We go to these motivational conferences and people get motivated all the time. But you know what? Let me tell you something. Motivation doesn't always what? Inspire you. Woo. So as I get ready to dig into this Monday Mental Real Estate, because let me tell you, my hero, my Uncle D, he may never see this clip. He may never, because he doesn't really watch. He may never see this, but I'm here to tell y'all, I'm giving my man his flowers right now. Because not only did he become motivated to do something different, we didn't understand why he couldn't receive the help, but he knew why he was doing it. And when he realized why he was doing it, it was on a different level. So I had to ask the question, because there's a lot of people that are motivated, but yet still not inspired. Have you ever been in that position? You've gone to a conference, you go to church, and you sit there and you listen to the preacher or you listen to the speaker, and by the time they're done, you're like, that's good. That was really good. But then when you walk away from there, you realize something. There was nothing left for you. So let me ask the question today. Why are people motivated but never? I can't say never, but I'm going to use it today. But why are people motivated but never inspired? Listen to this, y'all. Motivation and inspiration are often used interchangeably, but they refer to two distinct psychological processes. People can be motivated without being inspired because motivation is primarily driven by external factors. Did you hear that? Let me go there again. Motivation is primarily driven by external factors and specific goals, while inspiration is internal, emotional response that leads to new possibilities and personal growth. Let's move on because I got to get to it. Motivation is typically rooted in achievement, a desired outcome, or avoiding a negative one. It is a driving force that compels action, often in a goal-oriented manner. Now listen here. Here are the characteristics of motivation. Listen, goal-oriented. It is a desire to reach a specific target, like getting a promotion, finishing a project, or losing weight. External drivers. Motivation is often sparked by external rewards, money, recognition, or pressures, deadliness, expectations. Now, short-term focus. While motivation can be sustained, it often requires continuous upkeep and can wear once a goal and wane once a goal is achieved or a reward is no longer available. Now, listen, we're not done yet. Wanting versus liking. It is the want to achieve something, which is a powerful action driver, but doesn't necessarily involve deep fulfillment or joy. Wow. Now, these are all the things that surround motivation, but let me help you, because that's funny, because we get it confused sometimes when we talk about motivation and inspiration. Sometimes we did, and I was one that believed that at times they went hand in hand, but not necessarily. So let me go a little deeper. Inspiration, on the other hand, is a more profound, intrinsic, and transcendent experience. It is not about achieving a specific goal, but about the emergence of new ideas and possibilities. Now, what does that mean? The characteristics, listen here. Internal drivers. Inspiration comes from within. Did you hear that? First thing, inspiration comes from within, often triggered by observing something extraordinary, whether a person's action, a piece of art, or a natural phenomenon. Now, awe and possibility. The awe and the possibility. Now, these are characteristics, y'all, of talking about being inspired. It invokes a sense of awe that opens up a new perspective on what are possible, often leading to a shift to what is possible, often leading to a shift in values or purposes. Now, long-term impact. Inspiration often has a lasting impact on a person's life. Wow. Think about it. Let me say this part again. Inspiration often has a lasting impact on a person's life, influencing their general outlook, creativity, and sense of purpose. Now, liking versus wanting. It is closely linked to deep fulfillment and liking what you do, fostering a sense of joy and meaning beyond mere accomplishment. Now, let me say this again. Why the distinction matters. There is a clear distinction between motivation and inspiration. But why does this distinction matter? Listen to this. The statement that people are motivated but never inspired highlights the modern focus on achievement and external reward systems over intrinsic fulfillment and creativity. You can be highly motivated to work a job for a paycheck, but without inspiration, that work might feel like a chore. Some of y'all right there, right now. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Let me say that again. You can be highly motivated to work a job for a paycheck, but without inspiration, that work might feel like a chore. Didn't they say do what you love? Didn't they tell you when you got a job, do something you like? Because if you don't like it, you ain't gonna be there long. Remember those days? Okay, now, lacking deeper meaning or joy. In essence, motivation gets you moving, but inspiration is what gives you the movement, purpose, and direction. Now, talking about the thing I said about my uncle, and I used to wonder what would get him moving, because he was so hurt. He was going through so much at the time, and we didn't really understand what it was. All we knew was we wanted to help. But here comes a man, like I said, is my hero, who is down, who is broken, at some point shattered, but yet still found a way to put himself back together. So let me tell you something, what he did. What he did was he began to start working. When his legs weren't operating like they wanted to do, he started working. Now my uncle is like a 3rd degree, I don't know how many degree black belt he is. But the thing is, when that thing took a hold of him, it snatched everything of his abilities from his legs. And he had to begin again. He had to go to the swimming pool at 4 or 5 a.m. and just walk around in the pool to learn how to develop his legs. He had to walk. He didn't use a walker. He might have had a cane, and he didn't want that. But when he did that with the intention of building up the strength in his legs and his balance. So, here it is. A lot of times people move in certain directions without even understanding where they're going. Now, case in point, I can put you in a wheelchair, but just because I push you around in the wheelchair doesn't mean you're going anywhere. Listen to that again. I can put you in a wheelchair, And just because I push you around in the wheelchair doesn't mean you're going anywhere. Now, why would you say something like that, Professor? Why would you talk like this? Because let me help you get this. Because a lot of times people are looking for someone. Now, this isn't about the physical ability. There are people in our mental abilities and our capacity that are looking for someone to push and thrust them into the areas of their life where they're supposed to be. But let me dare tell you something about this thing, because God is really working on something right now. Is when we're talking about inspiration and being inspired, the difference between the two of motivation and inspired, it's not the fact that my uncle was motivated to do something better. Because at some point, motivation was going to take a back seat to what he was going to be inspired to do. His inspiration, I don't know where it came from, but what we do know is that now, understanding that being inspired comes from where? Inside. Whatever his determination was came from inside. Now here it is. We'll look at other people for motivation, but when we leave, we don't have any inspiration to do anything about what we were motivated to do. But here it is. When you're placed in a serious situation, I want you to know everything. Now, we know that everything in life is intentional. Everywhere we go is intentional. Don't think that you're just walking around here just to be blind and dumb. No, you're walking with intention. Every time you go into that store, it is with intention because it is destined for you to be there. Okay? Think about the time where you walking back into the house after you left to get in your car and leave. You go back in the house, you get your stuff, you come back, you get in your car. And as soon as you leave your house, what happens? You see an accident up the street. That accident looks like it just happened. It could have been 3 minutes ago, but guess where you were 3 minutes ago? Sitting inside your house looking for your stuff. So what I'm saying is this. Understand that everything is happening by chance. We are looking for things to inspire us through what? Motivation. But let me tell you, anytime you move within a purpose that God has intended for your life, that is the inspire. That is the motivation, because you show up where you don't even know where you're supposed to be sometimes. You say you're going places, but have no idea why until you arrive. Listen to that. Listen to that. You show up places and don't really understand why you're where you are until you what? Arrive. Because once you get there, then the occupation of understanding your precision and your precise timing and moment shows you everything right in that moment why you were supposed to be there. So here it is. If God can tell you, ain't nothing by second chance. It ain't just by chance you showed up. It ain't just by chance you decided one day, I'm going to go look for another job and I'm going to get this job and I'm going to work and make this money. It ain't just by chance. Let me tell you something. Everything in life is a lesson. Everything you go through in life is a lesson. Your motivation isn't going to always come from the words of somebody else's mouth. Let me say that again. Your motivation is not always going to come from the words of somebody else's mouth. It sounds good though. It feels good though. But the truth of the reality, you was destined to be there. If you had not have been destined, you would have never heard what you needed to hear. Now, here it is. A lot of people are motivated by what other people are saying, as opposed to what the motivation is for your life. The inspiration that comes from the motivation is what shapes you. It's what molds you. It's what makes you and moves you into the purpose that God has created for you. Oh my goodness. We look into all the things that people say and not realizing all the potential of the things we can do. Because when we start looking into things other people say, we become motivated by what they're saying. We become motivated by what we're hearing. Oh my God, this sounds so good. Oh my God, this is amazing. This story was amazing. When I leave here, my life is going to be forever different. And then when you leave there and 1 week later, you wonder why you're still sitting on the couch watching television. And you're not even thinking about that message anymore. Because it wasn't the motivation that you needed. It was the inspiration they were trying to leave with you. It's the motivation that people give to you. But the thing is, you cannot mimic what motivates you. Because what is motivating you is driving you. Not me. It's driving you, just like it did me, in a direction that helps you become understanding what it means to be inspired. Because inspired comes from within. Your motivation is external. Your inspiration is internal. What is going to move you to do something about everything that is in front of you? What is going to move you to get you to the place where you know you're supposed to be? Because motivation is not enough. We've seen it too many times where motivation takes a back seat to what you're inspired to do. Listen, guys, this is Professor Mike Freeland. I'm not just talking to hear myself talk, as my mom would say. I ain't just talking. Usually that comes with a whooping. Don't worry, I ain't trying to whoop nobody today. But I am trying to leave this with you to help you understand that when it comes to your perspective of thought, positive and negative contributes to your mindset. A lot of us thought that being motivated was enough. I'm being honest. I'm transparent. A lot of us, including myself, thought that if I was motivated, I'm ready to go. If I'm motivated, I'm ready to move. If I'm motivated, I'm ready to do it. But I didn't realize that the whole time I was looking at motivation as my tool and my key, it wasn't what was outside that was delivered. It was what was deposited on the inside. Just like you guys understand that I'm still living with this lifelong condition of Milroy's disease. I'm still living with it. But by his stripes, I'm healed. But physically, I can see the difference. I feel the difference. But dare I say, when someone has a situation in their life where you develop, not talking about being born with, because I have to live with my entire life. But my uncle didn't have that favor. He developed something that was crippling and was taking all of his ability away. Yet still he fought. Yet still he didn't want nothing from you. Yet still he would fight you rather than allow you to help him. Yet still he struggled. And his nights were painful. He slept for hours and days. Listen, I'm not making this up. He slept to keep that pain off of him. But why would he keep doing that when all he could do was ask for help? And he wanted to do it by himself. As many times as I watched him walk and grab the side of the wall, as I watched him walk and try to hold on to something just so he can maintain his balance, it would have been much easier for him to say, help me. But he wouldn't do it. Why? Because it was not his motivation anymore. The motivation told him he can do this again. The motivation told him, don't worry, you're going to get your strength back. The motivation told him that if you don't quit, you're going to see some results. But it was not the motivation. What was his inspiration? His children? His grandchildren? His ability to move around the way he wants his life to be? The refusal to quit? His inspiration? His faith? His belief when nobody else believed it was going to happen for him? His motivation? But his inspiration down on the inside that took shape and it gave him something to hold on to. Now, why am I telling you all this? Is your Monday Mental Real Estate. It's yours, not mine. It's your Monday Mental Real Estate. Listen to the motivation every day because we always listen. We even create our own things. We say it to ourselves every day. You're great. You're going to win everything. Don't turn around. Whatever you do, move forward. There's going to be great opportunities coming for you. You're going to speak these things into your own life every single day. You're going to pray these prayers in your life every single day. But listen, that's the motivation. But you ask God you ask God to inspire your soul. You ask God to inspire your mentality, inspire my ways, inspire my will, inspire my drive. Inspire what has now became into me as my motivation. Inspire it. Because if you inspire it, now you digging down on the inside. And if we digging down on the inside, we know that at some point we're going to do what is definitely necessary for our lives. Your life is intentional everywhere you go. Don't think you showed up in there for somebody to inspire you. God sent you there to be inspired because of the motivation that was going to be thrown your way. But it had nothing to do with the message. It had everything to do with shaping you for what your purpose is, moving you into that area. So when you go home and you have not been inspired, you better ask for it. You better pray for it because it belongs to you. And there's a reason and the purpose for what it means and intention for your life. Your life is not to mimic what you hear, but it's definitely going to help you shape where you're going. It's going to help you shape and understand more about what this life is all about. Don't wait for, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Don't wait for the doctor's note to tell you to be inspired. Don't wait for that bad news to come across your front desk or your front door to become inspired. Stop waiting for people to let you down before you become inspired. Stop waiting for people to take everything from you before you become inspired. Stop waiting to lose everything before you become inspired. Your inspiration is spawned on the inside. Your motivation is out here. But what you dig down in that soul of yours, what you pull up out of that gutter, what you've been through, that mud, that muck, that mire, all the things that you went through, it ain't for nothing. It's for everything that is created for you. Because one day all of that is going to come and it's going to take shape. And when it takes shape, what you going to do with it? When it takes shape, where you going to go with it? When it takes shape, where you going to leave it? Because somebody needs it now. You spent all these years cooking up this recipe. When you going to deliver the product? Come on, y'all. This is Professor Mike Freeland. I'm gonna cut it off now. And I'm going to tell you all, have yourself a great day. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful week because we're continuing to do more. Monday Mental Real Estate is not just by chance. It's here for you. Here for you to understand more about your life. The life that we live. That's right, Adrian. Stop waiting. What are you waiting on? Do you not know how short life is? Woo! My brother, a good friend of mine, just lost his daddy. God bless you, my good friend. Dewey, I'm going to say his name, but I ain't going to give you his last name. God bless you, Dewey. God bless you. And I'm telling you another one. God bless you, Quindella. Because I'm telling you, the family of these people, man, it's powerful. But you also understand as you get older, don't you? Life is just what? Way too short. So if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what can inspire you. Be motivated to do something better in your life every single day. You will see the inspiration on the inside that you need to create more for yourself. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. And let me just say, send some shouts out to my people. Adrian Revels, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for supporting Monday Mental Real Estate and just supporting me as a whole. A great man I grew up with. A great brother. I appreciate you. JC Mayfield family, what's going on? I see you, girl. How you doing? Thank you for being in here. I appreciate you so much. Miss Chantel, how are you? Thank you for this Monday. Thank you for this opportunity to come in and share this love with all of us together. My brother, Robert Lyons, how you doing, my friend? It's been a while since I seen you. Always good tidings. Always great times, and I appreciate you as always, Robert. Keep being great, my friend. More good things are coming your way. Stay right here, y'all. We're going to keep it going. Felicia McGlory, thank you so much for hopping in this morning. Taking your time for Monday Mental Real Estate is important for all of us because we get an opportunity to grow and grow together. And I appreciate all of that, y'all. Jenna Thompson, what's going on, mother? I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Monday Mental Real Estate did it again. My assistant, Ebony Saunders, all the way right here in the U.S., down the street, doing what we do in the U.S. for Mental Real Estate. Keep moving. Keep doing what you do. Let's be intentional as we keep moving forward, Ebony. It matters so much, everything that we do. And I appreciate everything you bring to the table. Once again, Ronnie Tisdale, I see you. Good morning to you, my dear. Blessings to you as we continue to move forward. Let's keep this thing going. We're not stopping, y'all. And last but not least, if I forgot you, please charge it to the head, not my heart. I see the comments and I'm checking them, and that's how I'm reacting to you guys. So thank you so much. Last but not least, my life's blood, my mama, Brenda Redmond, mama. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for seeing the gift that God has given me. Thank you so much for sticking around long enough to make sure that this thing is coming into fruition and making sure that you pray for your son daily. Thank you, mama. And we all know there's nothing like a mother's love. God bless you all. Have yourself a great day and a safe week. We'll talk again soon. Monday Mental Real Estate with yours truly, Dr. Professor. Woo! Professor. I got to get used to this thing. Professor Michael Freeland. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk again soon, guys. Goodbye.